Everybody, it's Ann Quinn with Carnegie Public Library, and my guest today for Tell Me Your Story is Debbie Bryant, who is the president of United Way, Fayette County. And Debbie, I met you about 5 years ago when you first took over your job.
Yes.
Or took over the position as director of United Way.
Yes.
And why don't you tell our audience how that very first conversation turned out?
Well, and I tell this story a lot because of what has transpired since then.
Which is all good.
Which is all good, right. So I started right before our Stuff the Bus campaign and hardly knew what I was doing. And so I come to the library to drop off a Stuff the Bus
Box.
bin, and,
a bin.
And talk to you about Stuff the Bus, and you introduced yourself to me, and then you took me aside and you said, "Oh, I've got this great program I want to share with you," and you talked all about the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and I had heard a little teeny bit about it, but not much. But I'm thinking, Ann, I don't even know how to make a deposit yet. Let me let me get my feet wet here. And so here we are 5 years later, and we've launched the Dolly Parton Imagination Library here in Fayette County. And
Yeah, we launched it last August.
Last August.
And as of today, we have 275 kids that are now receiving free books every month to their home. And together, we made this happen.
We did make it happen, Ann.
We
Yes.
have. We
Yeah.
raised the money, and we've done all the work. And a thrill for both Debbie and I is that at Christmas time, we went to the governor's mansion and met with Mrs. DeWine and Governor DeWine,
Yes.
because they spearheaded, they committed for the state of Ohio for the next 2 years to pay 50% of the costs.
Right.
So instead of like having to raise $20,000 for Fayette County, we only have to raise only Debbie, $10,000.
Only $10,000.
So that we're so thrilled that the state of Ohio, under the stewardship of Mrs. DeWine and Governor DeWine, are supporting early literacy throughout the state of Ohio. So Debbie and I both have this poster. She has one in her office, and I have one here at the library. And we're just so delighted that we're able to do this for the children of Fayette County, and it's for children from birth till they reach their 5th birthday,
Right.
and they get an age-appropriate book, and it's pretty thrilling.
Yes, it is. And one of the questions that I get is the administrative cost, and there is none for Fayette County for an affiliate. The Dolly Parton Imagination Library takes care of all of that. We pay for the books and postage.
And that's it.
And that's it. And
Yeah, and so you can apply. You can stop by the library, and we can give you an application, or you can go to United Way online and fill out a
No.
No.
I probably could do that. I probably
Okay.
could put a link on my website, but I haven't done that yet. That's a great idea. But you can go to imaginationlibrary.com. It asks you for your address. I think you go to affiliates. It asks for their address, and then it brings up United Way of Fayette County.
Okay.
And that's the way you can register
So they're
online.
mailing it to you, and then you're giving it to me. Or no, the United. Oh, okay, I see. I'm a little slow on this.
So sometimes there can be an online registration, and then, or you can pick up a paper registration. Either way.
Okay.
Either way. Paper registrations, and puts them in the book ordering system for me.
I know Debbie just came by the library, and she brought with her 3 applications, which I will input. United Way, Debbie handles all the money, and I do the input. And we're just glad that we're able to get books in these kids' hands.
Absolutely. It's exciting to hear the parents tell me, oh, we're waiting on our book, and things were not disrupted.
Amazingly, they weren't.
They were not. We got a message from the Imagination Library and said that
during the whole COVID stay-at-home thing, books were still being shipped
books
out.
were still being shipped out, and the kids got to go to the mailbox and get their book. It's addressed right to them.
Well, Debbie, you've been coming to the library for many years anyway, because you're an avid reader.
Yes.
So I had to ask, what are you reading right now?
What am I reading right now? I am reading Call Your Daughter Home.
Okay.
I don't remember who wrote it.
I never do either.
But
I usually can't even remember the title. I just know if I like it or not.
Call Your Daughter Home, and I'm just barely into it. So
Is it a mystery?
No, it's not a mystery. It's I'm not even sure how to describe it yet.
Is it a new book?
It's a new book. It's a
Okay.
brand new book. Yes.
Has it hit the
And
bestseller
yes,
list
I
yet?
think it has hit the bestseller because I already got a notice. Well, because of COVID-19, I am reading it on the app.
On our Libby app.
Libby
so you
app.
can read electronically.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
And so, I love to ask everybody this because people usually are either or with
Mhm.
strong feelings about this. Do you like the printed book in your hand, or are you okay electronically reading it on a device?
I like the book in my hand.
Yes.
I have a Kindle, and I've used it, and I've read from my Kindle, but again, I like the book. But I have to admit, during this whole COVID-19,
And the library was closed.
The library was closed, and I wasn't able to get my books. It was nice to have that digital app,
Yes.
and I was able to continue reading.
Okay. So, do you have are you the type of person that has lots of books by your bedside? Like you've got just a bunch of books ready to go, or it's just it hits you what you want to read and it's one at a time?
It's usually one at a time. I may have, I'll get to the middle of a book, and then I go, to the library, and I'll put one on hold. If I'm, way out in the queue, then I'll go and I'll put another one on hold. I just make sure that I have a book ready. When I finish one book, I have another book ready to go.
Well, I know you have a beautiful cabin in Kentucky. Do you read a lot when you go most weekends?
Absolutely read.
Is that your favorite place?
Oh, absolutely. I sit out on that back deck and just read. It's very peaceful.
Mhm.
Watch the deer and the turkey, and read my books from Carnegie Library.
Oh, right. Do you ever read in the bathtub?
No, I don't.
I do. I do read in the bathtub, and you got to be careful because I have dropped a book in the tub before, and then you have to pay for it.
No, I have not even attempted that.
Okay.
So,
So you're good about that.
I'm good about that. Yes.
Okay. So what about when you were a child? What were the kinds of books that you just loved?
So, probably, I did the whole Nancy Drew.
Did you?
And the Hardy Boys, yes. But I loved Abraham Lincoln books.
Yes.
As a young reader, some of those very elementary
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln books.
I remember reading one. Was it a really tall
No.
book? This one wasn't.
No.
Okay.
But I do remember the one that I had. I read over and over.
Mhm.
I just read it all the time. And then probably my favorite childhood book was Charlotte's Web.
Oh, we just read that in the community with Washington City Schools. We all read
Yeah.
Charlotte's Web. Did you cry?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then it came to it came out in a movie, and I got to go see it. So
I haven't seen it
Oh,
in the movie.
yeah,
so
I remember going to the theater and
Did-
watching Charlotte's Web.
Was
Yeah.
the movie as good as the book?
It's been a long time ago, and I don't,
We can't remember
I don't
that.
remember that. So
Yeah.
I was young.
So do you read to your grandchildren?
I do read to my grandchildren.
And what
yes.
are their ages?
Well, we have Bentley is 6, and Nathan, well, he reads to me now, but he's 10, so he's,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do they like to read?
Well, we read, Bentley especially, we read the Bernstein Bears.
Yes.
There is a collection, and it's another cabin story. I will share a cabin story
Okay.
with you. We went down with the kids, and we had a little electrical issue. We didn't not have electricity. We just didn't have any heat.
Oh.
So it was a fun weekend. We made the best of it. But at one point in time, Grandma and Grandpa had to do some things, and we just told the grandkids to go upstairs, find something to do. And Nathan read the book to Bentley.
Okay.
And in the back of the book, there are questions regarding the book, and they're lesson questions.
Because they
And
teach you. They teach
Yes,
you about
they're
behavior.
behavior and manners and things like that. And Rod and I just stopped, and we could hear Nathan asking Bentley these questions, and Bentley just answering them.
Oh,
It's just
how
precious.
cute.
It's a precious little memory. Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Mhm.
that is sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. So does he have any kind of books that he likes to read at 10?
No.
Everything, anything?
Yeah. And one of the things that we're super impressed with is that he does attend Fayette Christian School, and he can read the King James version of the Bible,
which is a lot harder.
which is very difficult, but he does not miss a word.
Okay, because the language is a lot more intricate and
Yes,
beautiful.
and beautiful.
But it's not like reading books today.
No.
Yeah,
And
that is impressive. At 10 years
At
old,
10
he
years
can do
old,
that.
he can read the King James Bible, yes.
Well, you need to get both of them involved in the summer reading program because we've started, and they just read at home, read on their own, just write down what they're reading, and they get some prizes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can do that.
that sounds pretty good. Is Rod a reader? Your husband?
He reads the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about it.
That's about it.
Uh,
Okay, he's not into sports magazines or.
No, he reads some articles online, that
Yeah.
type of thing, but
Yeah.
avid morning person with his Bible on the sofa and
Devotional
his
studies.
coffee. Yes, and his coffee, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Absolutely.
Can you think of any other books that made an influence on you when you were a child or a teenager?
Wow.
Anything that just stands out there? Like I was a Trixie Belden fan.
I don't remember.
Okay, I know it's kind of hard to remember.
It's hard to
exactly.
remember. It's hard to remember what I read last month.
Are you into magazines?
No.
Oh, I love magazines. So, but that's a little generational thing. I'm older than you are too, so a lot of people are moving away from magazines. But I love them.
I think I was at one time. I was into a lot of. I did some fitness magazines and.
You can get magazines on Libby too. So if you don't want to go and pay for them at the store, you can look at your favorite magazines on Libby.
I did not know that.
What about newspapers? I love to have a newspaper. You're not a newspaper, but you
Not-
get your news online though and read it online that
Yeah.
way. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what about, do you remember your mother reading to you when you were little?
Oh, Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss, you were a big Dr.
Oh,
Seuss
big
fan?
Dr. Seuss fan. And of course, you're at that age where you think you're reading, but you just have everything memorized.
Yes, you did. I like that.
Yes.
You do think you're reading.
But you just really have everything memorized. And one of the things I do remember is reading then to my brother and sister,
Yeah.
the Dr. Seuss books.
Aw.
We had shelves of Dr. Seuss books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to go on vacation this summer? I know it's kind of hard to make plans with all this COVID stuff. You're just going to go to the cabin?
Well, we go to the cabin, but we have hopes that we're going to Maine.
Oh, Maine.
And,
Wonderful.
A book will be in my backpack.
That's what I was going to
A
ask.
book
Will you take?
Yes, absolutely. I will plan accordingly.
Oh, I need to
And-
read either in the car or on a
No.
plane. I've got to read.
No, I
Oh, you
can't-
have motion
I
sickness?
cannot read in the car, but usually we'll hike someplace and then sit down, find a place that overlooks the ocean, overlooks the water, and I'll just get out my little cushion and get out my book and sit there and read.
I love that. Well, Debbie just read we just started a Dolly Parton every Saturday book club. And Debbie read the first book, which it's online, so if you go to Carnegie Public Library Facebook, you can hear her read the story. I forgot. Do you remember the name?
Gobble, gobble, crash.
It was adorable. I listened to the story, and it's very fabulous. I will be reading the story for this Saturday, and many members of your board are
Yes,
going
they're going
to read. So
Mhm.
we encourage you to, and if you can't watch it when it comes on, which is 2 o'clock on Saturday, it's still online, so you can watch it at any time. See the caliber and the quality of books that are part of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And Debbie and I just both encourage you, if you're a grandparent, an aunt and uncle, a next door neighbor, get the child in your life involved in Dolly Parton, and they can accumulate it. When you start at birth, you can end up with 60 books in your library.
And that's quite a library for
It
a
is.
5-year-old.
And teachers, educators tell us all the time, they can immediately assess within the first day that a child starts kindergarten whether they've been read to or not.
Right.
It increases their vocabulary, it increases the scaffolding of learning. It's just the best way that you can stimulate your child's brain.
Absolutely.
So
we want to give our Fayette County children all the advantages that we possibly can.
We can, and it's just been a privilege for Debbie and I to be involved.
Mhm.
And this, and I've gotten to know this little itty bitty little thing so much better. I know you're a runner. Tell me what United Way is going to be doing for the rest of the year. Do you have any plans with United Way?
Yes.
I know it's kind of hard to make plans
It
right
is.
now.
It was a very depressing little job there for a couple of months.
Yeah.
But we have decided, we rescheduled our golf outing.
Oh.
It was scheduled for the beginning of June, so obviously that was off. But we've rescheduled it for August 7th at Buckeye Hills. So that's a go. We are going to do Stuff the Bus as normal because one way or another they're going back to school. So they will need supplies. And I was told they may need more supplies this year than ever before because they're going to discourage sharing.
So when will you begin the campaign for Stuff the Bus?
That will be the last weekend of July, and it will run.
Well, that's right around the corner.
Yeah, it is right around the corner, and it will run through tax-free weekend, which is I think the 7th, 8th, and 9th of August. So it's only a 2-week campaign.
Do you need things besides the obvious school supplies like notebooks, crayons, paper? Do you take clothing?
No, we don't
or
take
socks. Or
No, we don't do that. What I do is I get sponsorship for that event as well, and then usually it's a check or a gift card that goes to the school. And I've had questions brought to me by the administration of the schools, do we have to buy supplies with this? And they have had a need for socks or other
gloves.
or whatever. And
Mhm.
I actually told them that whatever they need to purchase to help that student succeed in school is how they can spend that money.
Okay.
So
Are there lists at like the big stores in town?
usually that is they have it plastered all over Walmart. Which class, what grade, what items. The items a lot of times are paper towels and wipes and Kleenexes as well.
The library always has a bin too, so
Yes.
you can make contributions. Yeah, how many you drop off bins at a lot of places?
There's probably 20 to 25 places around the county that will have a bin, and then there's usually a bus at Walmart, and it's usually a Washington Courthouse bus, but the supplies are split up between the 2 school districts, so Washington Courthouse and Miami Trace, they both get the supplies equally divided, and so all the supplies have to be counted and sorted and then divided.
I know I used to be on the United Way board, and it's a big job to sort through all those things, and so I know you work very hard to make that happen.
That's
It's gratifying, but it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, it's a big day, and when I deliver it to the schools, the administration, the teachers are so appreciative of the help that we give the schools. Another event.
Yes.
So we all know that the Scarecrow Festival is not going to happen
Boo.
this year.
I always like to work on Scarecrow. Yeah.
So we were upset about that because we this year is our 5th annual Scarecrow 5K run/walk. So we decided that we were going to move forward and go ahead and have our 5K. We're going to have a different route, of course, because we can't obviously start downtown. And so we're going to have a different route. We're working on that right now. But the website for the Scarecrow 5K will be up probably by next week. And we'll be accepting registrations. And we're going to have a virtual option on that. So if you still don't want to come out and be part of the crowds, you can run it virtually, still get your t-shirt, still get your medal.
Oh, that's exciting. Maybe I can be in your virtual race.
3.1 miles, Ann. 3.1 miles.
I think I might be able to do that. Debbie is a runner, but you are so busy running it, you don't get to participate.
No, I don't
do
get
you?
to participate in this
Yeah.
one. And it's funny because this run is what started my running.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because the first year the Scarecrow Festival organized the run, it wasn't a United Way event, but the proceeds came to the United Way. So the second year they came to the United Way and said, we'd still like to have the 5K, but we want you to do it. We want you to run it. We want you to organize it. So that's what happened. So the first year, since the proceeds were coming to the United Way, I felt like I should participate in it. And at that point, I couldn't run 3 miles.
I didn't know that, Debbie. I just assumed you've always been a
No,
runner.
I could not run 3 miles. I could not run 1 mile without stopping.
And what can you do now?
4, 5 miles
Now, can
without
people
stopping.
walk if they choose to
Oh,
walk?
most people walk.
Okay.
It's stroller friendly. A lot of people will bring their dog. It's pet friendly, and a lot of people walk it. It's chipped, so you'll have a little.
In your little thing that you wear.
Your little bib. It's called a bib, race
Okay.
bib. It's chipped. So again, you can social distance because not everybody has to start at the same time.
Mhm.
Your time starts once you start. You go over the starting line, and then it's timed. And once you cross the finish line, your time stops. So
Is it still going to be the third weekend in
it is.
September?
It's going to be the 19th.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
All right. Anything else happening in?
Well, we're still hoping, fingers crossed, that Farm to Fork is still a go. And
By the Farm Bureau
the
is
Farm Bureau
sponsoring this.
does that, and each year is a different charity. And this year, it is the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, so we're hoping with fingers crossed that is still a go. I spoke to somebody last week, and at this point it is. But again, we have to see what rules and regulations they have to work with and go by, and we're hoping that is still a go. And that's August 22nd.
I know that a lot of people have questions with all your fundraisers and all the events that you do. All the money stays in Fayette County.
All the money stays in Fayette County. That is the biggest question that I get. And we, every year, we have an allocation process where agencies right here in Fayette County apply for the funds.
Mm-hmm.
They send, it's a packet.
It's a pack.
It's a packet of information.
It takes a long time to fill
to go
this
through.
pack out.
And so right now we have about, I think, 25 programs / organizations that we fund, from the seniors at the Commission on Aging
Mhm.
to the unborn at the Life Pregnancy Center, and everything in between.
Okay.
We help with the transportation programs here in Fayette County. We help with Rose Avenue. We help
It
with,
makes a difference.
yes.
It really
Yes.
makes a difference to support these
Mhm.
agencies.
But a lot of people think that some of it goes
to Columbus
elsewhere.
or yeah.
I tell people, nope. I write a deposit and I take it to First State Bank. Shout out. But anyway, I take it right here to Fayette County, and then I write a check, and the checks stay in Fayette County.
How much did you give away last year to these agencies?
Let's see, we gave over 100,000. I think it was $112,000.
Wow.
Went out
Wow.
last year.
Yeah.
And we don't know what we're gonna get to do this year.
Sure.
We're a little concerned.
course.
There obviously may be some cuts,
Yes.
but we'll do whatever we can.
Yeah, United Way just really makes a difference, and having worked on that board, it gives you a better view of what goes on behind the scenes, and I know many people benefit from the proceeds from that.
I had no idea
Yeah.
exactly until I started this position, and it's rewarding. It's a rewarding job.
Mhm.
It really is.
I think we're both lucky. We both landed in places where it's very, very rewarding,
Yes.
and we love what we do.
Mhm.
That's great. Debbie, thank you so much for coming by today and for being my partner in supporting the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Well,
It's
I
been
couldn't-
fun working with you these last couple of years.
And I couldn't have done it without you, Ann.
Yeah.
I couldn't have. So
So,
thank you.
so register for Dolly Parton, give money to United Way, and if you've got kids, come to the library and sign them up for the summer reading program, because we've got that started. We have over 100 virtual programs that you can do this summer, so we've got a lot going on. And don't forget, on Saturdays at 2 o'clock, you can have a story read to your child that's a book from her selection, from her library. So thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.